You want to do the intro, or do you want me to do it?
You stay safe out there.
That's my tagline from my other channel. But, hey everybody, welcome to the Taco Podcast. It's me and the lovely Crystal. Today, we've got a couple things that we want to talk to you about. Which one do you like to do first?
I'm not dead.
No, she's not dead.
Yeah.
Crossing fingers. All right, let's do her first. Got the questions that people wanted to know the answers to.
Wait.
Where
People want to know. People have questions about me?
Yes, they do.
Oh.
They miss you. They're wondering what happened to you. They're like, at Taco Podcast, they signed up and they subscribed. I hope you're subscribing to a podcast that had the both of us on it, and it's just been me. Lonely old me.
All by himself.
Okay, where have you been? First question.
At work.
All right, well, I guess we can wrap it up there.
Yeah,
She's been at work.
Done. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day. No, yeah, so I'm working full time and pulling overtime here and there. Then also I've been trying to make an effort to visit relatives more frequently than I did in the past. Went to go visit my dad's recently. One of the other things that we've been doing is, just trying to go places and enjoy life more. It's not all the grind. So last weekend before last, gathered up the kids and my mom, and we headed down to beautiful West Virginia for the Mothman Festival.
So how'd that go?
It's great. Oh my gosh. First off, West Virginia is gorgeous. It's so pretty. This stuff that's usually going on with my nose, my respiratory issues, gone. I could breathe in West Virginia.
So maybe we should move to West Virginia.
Look, I'm not saying that I've already checked out some properties, but I am saying that
Yeah, I mean,
you can film a podcast anywhere, and they've got a super fun site that needs IHTs. I mean, like win-win.
There's work there.
Yeah.
And there's a coastline.
Yeah. We might be coming to you from West Virginia next year.
I highly doubt that. I can't get her to move across town. So, all right. So, with that said, and you mentioned it, how is work going for you?
Work is going really, really well. The pace is, I think I might have mentioned this before, but the pace is not as intense as working, in a major hospital. I think everybody anticipates that, though. I mean, working at the hospital, you hit the ground running, and clocking out on time
every day.
When is that? What is clocking out on time? What? So the new job is paced differently, but I've enjoyed everything about it. The training is so thorough. They always make sure that you're up to date. Not that didn't happen at the hospital also, but okay, I'm going to be honest, man. When I first started at the hospital, it was pretty much like, hey, you've got a pulse, get on up there. And, you just got thrown in the deep end, and it was definitely sink or swim. No, the new job, I absolutely love it. And part of what I love most is that working in the laboratory in a hospital, like, you're helping people. And I've heard it said that medical laboratory work is the perfect job for the empathetic misanthrope, right? You like people, but you don't want to actually handle them, which is,
That was so much you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So that you're helping and you're making a difference, but you don't really have a whole lot of patient contact. You don't really see the people whose lives you're impacting.
Nor do they want to see you.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to see me.
Coming from the lab, the last thing they want to do is see you.
Yeah, that's true. But one of the things that I like about this job is that the feeling of an impact, right? It just feels more impactful. Like, I go home at the end of the day and I know that I helped Joe, stay safe on the job. Like, I've got a face to go with the person that I'm helping, and I like that. I like that, it feels more personal. I know.
So yeah, there's more direct, so you see your job actually making a difference and actually seeing the actual, contact with like how you're helping, keep the work environment, safe for those who are you with. Whereas in a hospital, you have that disconnect between, all right, here's the science part of it. I don't know how did the patient even live or die? You don't even know.
Yeah, I mean,
you just know that there's some really messed up results, and hopefully that somebody else is fixing them. Where in this job, you're actually doing it and you're seeing the difference.
Yeah.
Directly.
Yeah, and the laboratory, especially in a hospital, is just the the dungeon that people send various fluids to, and then the magic result elves.
Right. Well, I mean, I think this job is also more suited for you, like intellectually as well, because you can problem solve, with this. I'm not that the medical laboratory wasn't, that is, you were in that field for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, well over 30 years.
20. How old am I? 20 years.
Oh, 20. How long did you work for that hospital? We won't mention.
19 years.
19. How long did you work for the private practice before that?
2 years.
How long did you work at the last medical pathology?
3 years.
19 years total. All right. It's all right, honey. We're not fooling anybody. We're old. We're old.
It's true.
I mean, how long do you think I've been doing this entire YouTube thing?
Like what? Like a year and a half, maybe 6 months.
No, really, seriously, take a guess.
You started it slightly after Tiny Man was born, right? So going on 6 years.
Yeah.
Dang.
Just like that. And they told me by year 4 that I would have 100,000, 200,000 subscribers on each channel, and yet I can't get 20% of people to subscribe on any of it.
Are you hustling for subscribers right now?
I am. Subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Send me all your money. Actually, I don't want your money. But anyways, just subscribe and give me a thumbs up. No, send it to her, she says. All right. Next one. How is life in general, besides work, how is life treating you right now?
Well, I've had
quickly. This person wanted to know how you're dealing with the ups and downs.
Oh, I was going to say, like, there's generally ups and downs, The job is going really good. I love it. I've had some medical issues. I was recently diagnosed with diabetes.
She got the sugars.
But yeah, the treatment for that has actually been really easy and honestly kind of life-changing. Like, I didn't realize stuff that I'd been dealing with that I thought was just, well, I'm getting old, I guess this is my life now. It wasn't actually due to that. It was due to my body isn't utilizing insulin like it should be. They put me on medication for it, and it has honestly been life-changing.
We all knew it. For an awful long time.
Anyway, yeah, no, it's the medication has really made a big change. And then on the downside, I was recently diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder. We're still going through tests and stuff like that to narrow it down which one.
Probably cancer.
Oh my God, cancer is not okay. Forget him for a moment.
Sorry, it's not cancer. We know what cancer's like. We don't want that again.
Yeah.
So
that
was a bad joke.
Yeah. So that was kind of scary. Well, don't feel bad.
It wasn't as much fun as we were led to believe.
Yeah. No, cancer wasn't fun.
No.
So honestly, dealing with it and. So for the longest time, my coping mechanism has been avoidance. I'm not going to handle an issue. I'm just going to do other stuff and not think about it. And honestly, sometimes on the short term, that works. Sometimes you're too overwhelmed and you need to shelve something until you're in a better place to handle it. That's not a good long-term coping strategy, which unfortunately is what I would do. And I'm trying to do a much better job of handling things as they come and not rely on avoidance as a long-term coping strategy. On the downside, what that looks like for me is I get sick and now I'm on WebMD and, just freaking myself out.
Don't we all go there, though?
Yeah. So, I'm trying to temper
You go there
those
too, right?
two. Yeah.
I mean, we all go to
temper
WebMD.
Yeah.
Self-diagnose ourselves.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
But back to that point though, about dealing with things as as they come now a lot more than you did before. I also think that part of it has to do with what you were doing before. You were so overworked, and the last job that you were at for that 2 years at the pathology laboratory, which company we won't name, but you were. It's the best way to put this. Dealing with a good deal of depression on top of it.
I was. And I didn't realize it until after I was out of that environment, but I was severely depressed. What I thought was a good move for my career, and what remains...
It should have been.
A good move for my career, ultimately wound up not being a good move for my mental health. There was a lot of stress, and a lot of physical stress as well as mental stress, and I really didn't ever have the time to recognize and handle it. And it took me a long time to get out of that headspace.
Yeah.
Even at this new job, I find myself sometimes reacting to situations in the manner that I developed for that previous job, which aren't healthy. Like, I'm not in that environment anymore. I can be free to express concerns and have everything be okay. Hold on a second. My pocket is vibrating, and I don't want that to... There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, that job should have been a positive move for your career and the field that you were in and your expertise, but the job changed a lot from the moment she was hired until, going onward. She didn't sign up for the let's just say it was crap that happened, within that job. It never should have happened, and unfortunately it did. And unfortunately at the same time though, even though we all saw you spiraling, we couldn't get you out of it. Because it was just like you just had to keep on drudging forward. And sometimes in life, that's what you have to do. You might be in a job today, the viewer out there, that you're judging through and you just can't snap out of it. You can't just, people can tell you, well, snap out of it. Change careers, move or whatever. You just can't do that. Mentally and, like she was just saying, even now she's at a completely different, type of, work altogether. She's in a different company and everything else. There's still things that even now, today, mentally, she still snaps back to where she was before. And that's just human nature, though.
Yeah.
We rely upon and we find, those crutches that we built up in our lives, things that we can rely on and say, look, I'm going to do this because this has solved, the issue or the problem in the past. So, all right. So, next is, what are you looking forward to for the rest of 2023?
Well, the rest of 2023, I'm really looking forward to the holidays this year. Really hoping that we can get...
She won't be here.
Actually, I will be. So initially my dad's had for a birthday / Christmas present, they were going to take me to Australia this winter. However, I talked with them about it, and what we've decided to do was, because I'm still waiting for my passport to come in, is what we've decided to do is put that off until next year.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to work out.
Sorry to all my friends in Australia. Crystal won't be here in 2023.
I think it's actually going to work out really well, because I have tentative plans to finally get my reconstructive surgery done right around that same time. So, where better to recuperate from major surgery than on a beach in Australia, right?
There are things that want to kill you in Australia.
Yeah.
That's why you told me you'd never go there, because everything wants to kill you.
Yeah, but there's a suite.
Like a hotel suite?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just going to stay in the hotel?
Well, there's spiders outside. Have you seen them?
What about you're in another country? You know, you want to see some of the sights or something?
Actually, I really like spiders. I've gotten really into them lately, so I'll probably go touch the Australian spiders.
This is not Crystal. This is a clone. Where is the real Crystal?
Yeah, lately I've been studying spiders a lot, and they're actually really, really cool insects. You know, and they do a lot for the environment and for people.
So, are you saying I should leave the spider that's in the kitchen alone?
No, they don't go on the inside. Take him to the outside. That's where he belongs.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe there's insects inside the house he's taking care of.
Honestly,
Maybe that's why we don't see any in the house.
That very well could be. Part of it, I think you guys know, several years back, I became a member of the Xerces Society, a society that focuses on the conservation of invertebrates.
Bats.
That's Bat Conservation International.
Bats.
Different conservation society, babe.
Bats.
But I also do like bats.
Well, so much so, we built bat houses.
Yeah.
We never put them up, but we've built them.
We did put them up, but we put them up at my uncle's place.
They can't hear that.
Oh, we did put them up. We put them up at my uncle's place. I also love coyotes.
We still have 2 of them at your mom's.
Oh, yeah. Those are spoken for.
By who?
One of Mom's friends wants them, and Melissa wants one.
I mean, it's better than them sitting on the porch in the backyard of her mom's house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
I also really love coyotes. Aren't they so cute with their little coyote faces?
No. I don't like coyotes at all. Frankly, I hate coyotes.
They're so cute. Look at their little
Just
faces.
remember, we have a lot of domesticated house cats in our area, and I don't want the coyotes coming into town and snacking on our cats.
Okay, but maybe they just snack on cats because they're hungry and we've run out a lot of their natural food sources.
Now, we have, where we live, we've definitely encroached, the town has encroached into their habitat, and the same, when it comes to mountain lions. We have definitely encroached into their habitat. I mean, for hundreds of years, they were here, and Native Americans who lived in this area, they knew that they were here, and they just left them alone. They were actually, kind of like a spiritual, thing to the tribes who lived in this area. They knew that they were in the mountains, and they left them the hell alone. They're like, okay, you guys be over here, and we're going to be over here in the valley. And that worked for hundreds of years, and now, well, not so much. We've got houses all around us going up in the hills, and now people are like, hey, there's a mountain lion walking in, near my home. I'll post a picture here of one that was, caught on a home ring cam, not even half a mile from our home.
Couple of times a year, mountain lions. Usually juveniles.
Yeah, usually it is juveniles. They look pretty big even as a juvenile, but
but they'll make their way in, and because of sprawl, where we get way more coyotes, and then of course you've got what they call sentinel species, skunks, raccoons.
Well, yeah. We got a raccoon that's coming by our house now.
So cute.
To eat our cat food. Oh boy, was I surprised! And this sucker is big. I think it was a pregnant mom raccoon. I walked out on the porch, early in the morning, 4:00 in the morning, to just had got my cup of coffee, set it down on the table, and I went outside to have a cigarette because, well, I like to kill myself slowly. And I walk outside, and there's this thing on the porch, and it's like I jumped up like. Up on top of the chair, and this thing just looks up at me and hissed. I was like, holy Christ! The thing is like twice the size of our, probably 3 times the size of our biggest cat.
All the more to cuddle with.
Oh, yeah. And I'm just like, okay, and then it waddled on down the stairs and walked on to the neighbor's house.
They're
the
so
next
cute.
house that feeds cats outside.
They're so cute. I love them.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty much our fault. I'm surprised we don't have skunks again.
I know. I'm kind of sad. I really liked it when we had skunks.
So we used to in the house next door until that whole house sold and the neighbor cleaned up a lot of the brush and stuff that was in the back part of the property. You couldn't see it. In the local community couldn't complain about it, and in the HOAs and stuff like that, they couldn't complain about it because you couldn't see it because it's in the backyard. But since that house is who adore the people who bought the place, they've done a lot of work to that house. you know.
One of our cats used to go over there and keep the husband company while he was fixing it up.
Yeah,
Got to the
remodeling,
point
painting,
where he bought him toys and
collars,
yeah, would feed him.
canned food, treats. They absolutely loved. That was my cat, Bogey.
We noticed Bogey was coming home with paint on his tail. We're like,
Yeah.
where have you been? And then found out that he was going next door and chilling with the neighbor.
Yeah, really good people. All right, last one on the list for you is: are you ever going to stream again?
Yes,
Live streaming.
but probably not for a while. So I backed a game called Island Skies, and the tentative plan, it came out or will be coming out in alpha shortly. The tentative plan is once I get my official streamable copy, because you can't stream the alpha, is I will be one of the people streaming Island Skies upon release.
Yeah, what is Island Skies about?
It's one of those little cozy little farm simulators where you have a little, you get a little house to decorate and you can expand it and you can collect pets and,
Ooh, is it like one of those games where you can spend a fortune to get like a wheelbarrow?
To my knowledge, there's no microtransactions.
Really?
From what I understand.
How do they make their billions of dollars like all the other people who screw us in these online games?
It's not an online game. It'll be on. Well, it is an online game. It's not a mobile game. So there'll be. You can get it on PC, and a couple of different consoles, Nintendo Switch, I believe. Now, from what I understand, there's not going to be microtransactions. There might be, but it's probably going to be stuff like skins or stuff like that,
sure.
where but don't know for sure.
I mean, just things that you want to play the game, you have to buy.
No, it's not. It's not pay to win because it's a farming simulator. There's not really a win in there.
What was that game they used to have on Facebook?
Farmville.
Farmville, yeah. I mean, that was microtransaction. You didn't have to buy any of that stuff to be successful. But if you wanted to grow a good crop or have the next best thing, a tractor or something, you had to do the microtransactions.
Yeah.
I mean, the game company they don't make the game for free. So, when did you say this is coming out?
So this will be coming out next year.
Oh, so it'd probably be sometime after that before you'll be streaming again.
The plan is upon release, so the day that the game drops for sale, I will be one of the people streaming Island Skies.
So, you couldn't stream anything else between now and the next 2 years?
I mean, I guess I could.
I mean,
I have been toying around.
I'm guessing your community is the reason why they're asking me the question is because they miss you.
I have been toying around with the idea of streaming Minecraft again, but it's something I've just been tossing around. It's still kind of hard because, I go to work before Tiny Man gets up. I get home and I kind of want to, just spend my day chilling with him, even though chilling with him a lot of times is just him demanding that I sit down and, do, like, Mommy working. But I can't leave from that spot. I have to be there for him.
He tells us that a lot.
Yeah.
You work.
Yeah. So, but I want to spend my time with my family when I get home, and then I've got to sleep, because I got to work at ass in the morning, again the next day. So really the only time that I have available for streaming is on the weekends, and that's really hard to schedule with a family. But it is something I'm trying to work out. And I will keep you guys posted.
All right. One quick last thing before we move on to the next card is tell everybody about your awesome hat, Crystal.
I freaking love this hat. Isn't it the best? It's so soft and fuzzy.
She likes these things. And this is her. It is. She's got a coat that matches this.
I do not. The coat is just like tan.
The coat looks like leopard print, but fuzzy.
Yeah.
It's not pink, but two of them spot on together. All right, next one. Little man.
Oh, I thought we were going to ask questions about you.
Okay. Questions about me.
How's Little Man?
First one is school. How is school going for the tiniest, the little man? He's not tiny.
We
call him tiny, but he's not tiny.
He's gonna have a growth spurt, and he's gonna be huge.
Oh boy,
soon.
is that boy packing away the food right now?
Yeah, you can always tell when he's getting ready to grow, is because you can tell about a week, 2 weeks before he has a growth spurt, he just starts carb loading. It's like his little body knows he needs this energy for some shit.
Yeah, he ate easily this morning, just today. He easily ate 3 whole breakfast meals. We're talking fruit, vegetables,
he ate
everything.
My bacon. Everything except for one strip.
That was your fault. You snooze, you lose.
He left me 1 strip of bacon.
And that was only because I stopped him.
He ate his breakfast. He ate my breakfast.
Yeah, he ate his after school bacon. He ate chicken nuggets.
When Will makes breakfast in the morning, he sets aside bacon for a taco to snack on when he gets home.
Yeah, I only make 2 or 3 slices and I put it in a container and put it in the refrigerator, so he can have it with after school. As kind of a snack.
But no, school's going really good for little guy. I feel like he's doing really well this year. We do have a couple of issues with homework. This the same kind. Okay, first off, I would like to say that I don't think kids in 1st grade should be having homework.
They gave you 9 days to do it.
I forgot to print out the pictures that he needed, but that's not the point.
But yeah, I mean, I understand, but it was kind of like, it's not just homework. It's something that the whole class is doing as a participation.
Yeah, I know.
They're making a mural of their lives from birth to this age, and there were 4 different panels. A picture, and then the child wrote how old they are in the picture, and then a small sentence after it, and that's what the homework was. But every student in the entire 1st and 2nd grade is doing it. So, yeah. All right. How is he doing socially?
Socially,
how do you feel he's doing socially? I can answer that.
So, I'm going to preface this with, not all kids are super social, even neurotypical kids. Taco is not super social. I feel like his ability to socialize is getting more on par with his peers. But more often than not, he's just not feeling it, if you know what I mean. We do have, there's one of my coworkers, a friend from work, has a son who's about Taco's age, who's also neurodivergent. And we take them to one of those trampoline parks, which I
love that.
Absolutely hate. It's so loud and it's bright, and the sensory overload is just like, if I didn't have a kid who wanted to be there, I would have noped the fuck out the moment I walked in the door.
And what's really surprising is it doesn't bother him at all.
This
is one of the very, very few social situations, or any situation, where sound, light, texture, none of it bothers him at all. He is just having so much fun. It's just like, forget it. I'm just watching him, just like, are you kidding me? How is it that he's even dealing with this? If you take just one of those things, those sensory overloads, and you put it somewhere else, he just shuts down immediately. But there, it's all together in one, and he is just having a blast.
Yeah, he loves it. So yeah, we'll get together with my friends. My friend and I, our families will get together. We'll take the kids. And then afterwards we usually hit McDonald's, and then they hit the play place. And I've noticed that he's getting much more social, even with strangers, in those 2 specific places. And I don't know if it has to do with just the amount of fun that he's having, or if it's something about the area or whatnot. But, when we took him to the play place last time, my friend's son, for his birthday, we did the same thing. We went to the McDonald's Playland or whatever, and there were 4 girls there, and the kids started playing with them. They were playing Dragon, which, as far as I can tell, just consisted of all 6 kids running around and being really loud and roaring at each other. But whatever, they were having a blast. But it was interesting because William approached these kids on his own and started playing with them, which isn't something that usually happens. William still does a lot of parallel play, but not interactive play. So,
And here at home, in our neighborhood, we have easily tripled the amount of children that are close to his age, and within 5 houses.
not
or
us
so.
personally; it's other people.
Yeah, yeah. But although we do like to collect those, kind of like collect the set. But anyways, but there's like easily triple the amount of kids who are all within like maybe a year or two of his age, and like you're saying, he likes to stand back and watch them a lot. But more recently, he has started to. First, it was out of the blue, totally out of the blue. He just walked up to me after he came home from school one day, and he put his hand out and said, "Hello, my name's William." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "I'll shake your hand, little guy." And "Hi, my name's William too." And then he's like, it started with that, and then he started introducing himself to the other kids in the neighborhood, where he had been standing back for a while and just watching them play, or playing by himself, doing whatever he thought was fun, while the other kids are playing around him. He's like in his own little world, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like that the flower just opened and bloomed, and he's decided that I want to interact with them. I want to do what they're doing. If they're going to ride bicycles, I want to ride my bicycle. As opposed to his bicycle was there the whole time. He just would do it in the driveway by himself and then go, I'm bored of it. And then move on to something else. And then he'd watch them, what they were doing. And he's like, well, that looks like fun. Then he'd get his scooter out and because they were scootering. And it's kind of like, maybe he's kind of connecting. But at the same time, though, a couple of the little boys that are really close to his age, they're a grade older than him. He doesn't speak very clear, and both of them think that he speaks a different language that other than English, and because both of them have approached me and they're like, "Well, what other language is he speaking? We don't understand anything other than English." And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, well, he knows sign language. Have you tried sign language? What's that? Okay, but he's getting his as his speech is improving, and it definitely is improving, and he's being able to put more sentences together. He still won't make eye contact with you a lot. He's, even if he's like right here in your face, his eyes are off like left or right. He's looking to totally different direction than at you. But as his speech is improving, I that's like the flowers started to open a little bit, and that's what I see from him on the social side of it. It's going to take a long time. It's a lifetime.
Can I get a peek at the question?
Nope. No peeking at the questions before they get asked. All right. Next one. How was the vacation for little man? How do you feel he dealt with the flying across the United States and being in a situation where he was unfamiliar with any of it?
He actually did really, really good on the vacation. He's got about 2.5 hours worth of plane time before he's done. So the 4-hour flight, he was not cool with. Yeah.
Surprise there.
Yeah, about 2.5 hours in, he was like, "Okay, land now." I'm like, "Yeah, bud, that's not how planes work." Yeah. "Okay, we'll jump." "Nope, we're not." That also not how planes are working. We're not jumping.
Parachute out over Iowa.
Yeah. Like, man, if it wasn't for I was convinced.
He would probably don't like that if you landed in a cornfield.
Yeah, he probably would have actually. But yeah, his and I get it. Sitting in a plane, especially those cramped little coach seats.
Yeah, I don't even like them.
Yeah, not super fun. But he did really well. While we were on vacation, we did a couple of activities. The hotel we stayed at was right in the center of the festival, so we didn't have to do traveling to get there. He had about 45 minutes to an hour worth of being cool in the throng of people before he wanted to go back to the hotel. So We would do, basically we'd go out to the festival for a little bit, then we'd go back to the hotel, then we'd go back to the festival, you know. But he did really, really well. He even picked out some souvenirs that he wanted, you know. So we got those. We went on a hayride, which he did amazing on. And we went on a bus tour that he did really, really well on too. So he actually, and it was all new, a whole new place that we were sleeping. You know, I mean, we've never been to West Virginia, and I haven't taken him to a festival that large before. So everything was new. And, you know, we had contingencies in place in case he didn't do well, you know, but we didn't need to use them. He did really, really well, you know, as we respected his boundaries and took him out of the hubbub. Is that the right word? Out of the like whatever, the chaos of the festival. We respected his boundaries. We took him out of the activity when he was getting overwhelmed, and I think that's honestly what made the difference. Is, you know, we gave him space when he needed it.
Okay, now, you know, briefly, not like, you know, a 2-hour explanation, but vacation. Can you explain to the world out there what is the Mothman Festival?
Mothman Festival.
They wanted to know, what is this festival that you guys went to? What is it all about?
So the festival is celebrating the Mothman.
Moth. M-O-T-H. M-O-T-H. Moth.
Moth.
As in the...
Yeah, the Mothman. It's in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which is where the majority of the sightings of the Mothman took place. So essentially, the Mothman historically has been considered a harbinger of doom. There was a bridge collapse that supposedly was happened after the initial sighting of the Mothman. Some local people said that they were chased by a man-like figure with wings and glowing red eyes that chased them through town.
And you traveled all the way across the United States for that.
Look.
Did you see the Mothman while you were there?
We didn't, but we did look. Nobody ever actually said that the Mothman... Look, the Mothman, I think, has gotten a bad rap. It's not that the Mothman caused these natural disasters. Other people's poor planning caused these natural disasters, and the Mothman was just trying to warn people.
So he's a scapegoat?
Yes, that bunker explosion happened because somebody was storing...
Bunker explosion too?
Yeah, we toured the abandoned bunkers. There was a bunker explosion that happened because somebody was storing volatile chemicals incorrectly. That's not the Mothman's fault. That's the dude who was storing them fault. And the bridge was not built to handle the load that it got. Again, Mothman was not the contractor nor the engineer. None of that is Mothman's fault. So I think Mothman is just trying to help us. Half moth, half man, all friend.
So, is there any proof that this Mothman really exists?
There are no photos of the Mothman. There's a Mothman museum you can go to. We went to it. It was pretty interesting. But there's been no pictures of the Mothman. It's all been eyewitnesses. But the family and I recently, and by that I mean my mother, myself, and the kids, because Will doesn't want to go cryptid hunting with us. We have decided that our new life-affirming activity is going to be taking cryptid vacations. Next year, we're going to go hunt for not the Jersey Devil. That's in 2 years. We're looking for the. We're looking for the Fresno Nightcrawler next year.
Fresno, as in Fresno, California. And what's that one?
That is actually, there is photographic evidence of that. Look it up, Fresno Nightcrawler. First sighting was a man caught it on his security camera. Two things that essentially looked like legs with a face just strolling through the field out behind his house. Fresno Nightcrawler has also been seen in Europe, and there have been sightings of creatures that looked like the Fresno...
Wait, the Fresno Nightcrawler made it all the way to Europe?
Yeah.
How do you get on a plane or a boat?
Some people think it might be an alien.
An alien? Well, could be.
Yeah.
I mean, been a lot of like Senate memes and stuff about aliens lately.
Right.
So you never know. I'm not going to put people down for what they believe in.
Yeah. So we're hunting for the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Unless it's a Fresno Nightcrawler.
The year after that, so that one was picked by my daughter. The year after that, my nephew wants to go looking for Wendigos, so we're going to go look
Wendigos?
for Wendigos.
What are those?
Cannibalistic creatures.
You know, they could hunt for the Bigfoot right in our backyard.
Hold up.
I mean, there have been hundreds of thousands of, sightings of the Bigfoot in our own backyard. Native American tales in scriptures and in drawings of the Bigfoot in our own backyard, and spent a fraction of the money doing that. But that's nowhere on their top 5. Apparently.
Yeah, so we're going to do Fresno Nightcrawler, Wendigo, Jersey Devil, and then we're going to do Bat Squatch, and then Japanese werewolves.
Yeah, the video hasn't stopped. I'm like, okay. I will take my 3 days vacation. And if you hear that, that's the cats on the roof. Okay, moving on, because I don't know where to go from there on that line of thought. Education for little man. We talked about, how school's going for him a little, his improvements. Where do you think that his biggest need is at this point?
Honestly, it's hard to tell what his biggest need is at this point.
I should say this before you answer the question. We're very involved in his education. So it's not like we're just like we send him off to school and say, hey, you teach him. We're very involved in his education. So go ahead.
I think the main issue is that as much as they try, and they do try, institutional learning environments just aren't really set up to cater to the individual needs of most students. And they're making huge strides, and I'm glad that our kid gets to be a part of that. But there's always going to have to be extra involvement from parents.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, it's still difficult for us to figure out exactly what Taco's learning style is. Again, because we have that communication barrier. But I personally think that once we find out what his learning style is, we'll make heads and strides. He's a brilliant kiddo. And I'm not just saying that because I think he's adorable and he's mine. Okay, maybe.
But he is. But, we're a little biased, but
yeah, I'm a little bit biased. But he's brilliant. He's 7 years old and he can do 3D rendering. He does video editing. That's both funny because he loves to take Will's videos and edit explosions in all over the place.
He's very, very good hands-on solving puzzles too, and putting together puzzles and solving them. He wants to know how, and one thing that has always been there is he's been fascinated with magic, magicians, and how they are able to manipulate what you and I see, and to a level that is borderline obsessive, I guess would be the best way to put it. He's trying to solve the puzzle way before anyone else can solve it. And even though there's already an answer, he doesn't realize that there's an answer to the actual puzzle. He thinks he's going to solve that puzzle, and he is working everything through step by step on how to solve that puzzle.
So yeah, I think that he's brilliant. But honestly, I think we just need to keep plugging along and trying to meet him where he is so that we can help.
Yeah.
We can help him. I don't want to say unlock that brilliance because it's already there. It's already coming out. But I think the key to making it blossom and making him happier is going to be communication. It remains the biggest struggle. And obviously, Will and I, having known Taco literally his entire life,
We have.
We're able to communicate with him and understand what he's saying way more than other people. But unfortunately, the world is just not set up for ease of access
Not at all.
neurodivergent kids. So unfortunately, the big struggle is getting Taco to a place where he can communicate better with the outside world, because, like it or not, the outside world is never going to come to him.
No. I mean, and at the same time, I'd like to add that, even if he didn't have these, these special skills, those we call them, and think of them, even if he didn't have those, we he'd still be our son. We'd still love him, all the same.
Yeah.
We're not trying to flaunt, that he's got these skills or the skill set that is better than anyone else. Everyone has barriers. You have barriers that are in front of you. I have barriers. She has barriers. We all have barriers in our lives and things that we have to overcome. It's so many people look at him and they look at they see his, and when they have interaction with him, and they see his disability is right there. You can't deny it. If you just spend any time around him at all. But it doesn't mean that he's not as intelligent, or if not more intelligent than the other kid next to him who's neurotypical. And that's so hard to watch society judge him automatically, before they even get to know him, because he can't express himself. Just think if you couldn't express yourself in any way at all, for the world around you, and simple as making friends, or getting a job, or transportation, or anything. If you had something that was going to be an overriding thing throughout your entire life that was going to slow you down and hold you back, you can either use that as the springboard to success, or you can let it hold you down. And so far, I mean, he's only 7 years old, but he has used everything that he has, and he has used it as a springboard, towards success. And I can't be any more proud of him. I know we're both, extremely proud of him.
I think a lot of the issues...
But he doesn't have a cool hat like that, though.
No, that's true. He will take it from you, though. I think a lot of the issue comes down to visibility and understanding. I don't think a lot of people understand... Well, here, look at this. Look at it this way. Ability to succeed can be mitigated or enhanced based on barriers.
Yeah.
And I don't think society really understands that so much when it comes to neurodivergent kids. I mean, think about disability access and stuff like that. People don't think about it.
How do you see him?
People don't think about it, but my ability to get these glasses affects everything. My job, my ability to drive, stuff like that. But people don't think about the fact, because we all know so many people that wear glasses, you don't think about the fact that this simple disability aid is what allows me to work, take care of my family, enjoy my leisure activities, drive. But we don't think about it because it's such a part of our culture now. And I think that we need to do for autistic kids what we've done for people with vision impairment.
Or hearing.
Yeah. We just need to make it so prevalent. We need to make the aid to succeed so prevalent in our society that it's not an issue anymore.
And believe me, nothing would make my son happier in this world if he didn't have to ask the world around him for help.
Yeah.
He's 7 years old, and he understands right now that people are treating him differently than the rest of the other children in school or within their neighborhood.
Well, not just that, just his personality, he's so independent.
Who boy?
He's so independent. Just him as a person, he wants to do things himself, and when he can't,
the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree. Let's just say that. And he's way cuter than me. What? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end it there. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed the Taco Podcast episode. Anything you'd like to add in closing?
You stay safe out there.
That's my line. Bye.
Bye.